Nobody really talks about this, but the way you care for your parents right now is a rehearsal. Your kids are taking note. So look, a couple months ago, my mom had a significant medical issue that landed her in the hospital, right? She had a fall, and then that just kept getting complicated and complicated and complicated, right? And she ended up being in the ICU. And I was there every day. And once she was in the ICU, I started spending the nights there. And my son, who's 10, asked me, Mama, why are you going to the hospital and staying in overnight there if there's doctors and nurses, and, why do you have to be there with Mimi all the time? And I told him, well, that's my responsibility as her daughter, right? I see it as my gift to her, my ability to really be there to advocate for her. And, Mimi's not feeling well. She's scared, right? She's sometimes confused because when we're older and we get sick, it's easier for us to get confused, right? And the confusion happens mostly at night, right? And then Mimi's in pain, and sometimes she can't tell the nurses that, and sometimes she even loses that darn remote that calls the nurse, right? And she loses it when I'm there. Heck, I lose it when I'm there. And so also, like, Nono, his grandfather, right, is there during the day, and I don't want Nono there all night too, right? So we take turns, we take shifts, and I want to be there for her. I want to make sure that she is comfortable and not scared and all those things, right? And he's like, oh, I really hadn't thought of it that way, and I'm glad he asked, right? Because I want him to understand why I'm not home, right? Why I'm not sleeping at home, why his dad is maybe taking over some of the roles that I do. But mostly for him to understand perspective, right? To understand that our roles shift sometimes, right? And we have to step into different roles. And that, and compassion, and, hopefully I'm modeling for him how he'll treat me, right? Because we parent the way we wish we would have been parented, right? That's my belief. And I think we also model caregiving the same way, right? That we care for others the way we want to be cared for, right? And so hopefully, how we treat our aging parents is the clearest, preview our kids get of how they'll treat us, right? And so, and this is about, like, understanding that, right? That it's a full circle moment. And what does this mean practically, right? Look, at the end of the day, you don't have to be the perfect caregiver, because you won't be, right? Just the same way you're not the perfect parent. But you can be a visible one, right? You can let your kids see the hard conversations, the patience, the lack of patience, the frustration, the repair, right? Being transparent, age appropriate, of course, right? That's the curriculum. So if you're caring for an aging parent right now, your kids are learning from you. Make sure they're learning what you want them to embody. Make it count.